Welcome back one and all for the latest episode of the Off the Top of the Bar podcast. Thanks very much for stopping by. It's greatly appreciated. If this content floats your boat, then please do press the like button, subscribe, press the notification bell, and remember to tell your friends and fam. And most importantly, please do leave a comment and let me know your thoughts. So, after an exhilarating Premiership weekend, so let's have a look at the results firstly from the weekend of the 20th September. So we got Liverpool 2, Everton 1. That's a derby win there for Liverpool. Brighton and Tottenham drew 2-2. So did Burnley and Nottingham Forest. Crystal Palace came out 2-1 winners against West Ham, and the latter will give you an idea as to who we're going to be looking at this week. Leeds 3, Wolves 1. That's a very good result for Leeds. They look to be good value at the moment. Man United got a crucial win against Chelsea. Vital 3 points for them, and a bit of respite for Mr. Amarim. Let's see how things turn out there. Fulham got the better of Brentford, coming out 3-1 winners. And on the Sunday we had Brentford ball draw. Well, looks like they're all draws actually. Bournemouth, Newcastle 0-0, Sunderland, Villa 1-1, and Arsenal City 1-1. And again, another clue there. So, looking at the table, we've got Liverpool at the top on 15 points, 5 ahead of Arsenal, who are on 10, and sharing that points tally with Tottenham and Bournemouth, who seem to be the surprise package this season so far, and could also be Crystal Palace as well joining them. Let's not go there this week. So the 3 clubs we will be focusing on this week is going to be firstly West Ham, and yes, very tough result for them to take, losing to London rivals Crystal Palace over the weekend. Yes, things are not looking that good for Mr. Potter, has to be said. And apparently it looks as if there may be moves underway to get a replacement in already, with reports suggesting that Nuno Espirito Santo, formerly of Nottingham Forest of course, and former Bournemouth and Wolves boss Gary O'Neill in the frame as a replacement to the beleaguered Graham Potter at the moment. It's a shame actually, because I like Graham Potter, but I don't know, it seems as if the players aren't performing for him at the moment. They've also suggested that Slaven Bilic as well comes in as an interim or caretaker manager, someone who has got a long and let's say very close affiliation with the club. Interesting to see what happens there. It doesn't look good for Graham Potter. Does not look good at all. We need to see how things turn out for them. Where are they? Second to bottom. And if we look at their next few fixtures, they've got Everton away. This is going to be a tricky one. Arsenal away. It's going to be a very tricky one. And Brentford at home. So let's see if Graham Potter survives to tell the tale of those 3 games. It's not looking very likely at the moment. What do you think, West Ham fans? Do you think the blame lies squarely at the door of Mr. Potter, or do you think there are deeper and darker forces at work, i.e. the ownership, which has probably been my guess, to be perfectly honest with you. But yes, in the interest of time, let's move on. But West Ham, Graham Potter, not looking good at all at the moment. Moving swiftly on, the second topic of this week's podcast is Manchester United. So the Red Devils claimed a much needed win against Chelsea at the weekend. This fixture being notable as having a substitution and 2 red cards in the first half, which is the first time in Premier League history that has happened. And the red cards were for Robert Sanchez on, it's a pretty clumsy tackle from him there, and Casemiro coming just a couple of minutes after he put the visitors in the lead, the hosts in the lead. So from 0 to 0 for Casemiro there. What do you think of that, Man United fans? Not a great situation for you guys at the moment, has to be said. But Mr. Amorim seems to be very, very adamant that he will continue in the job. Why would he not say that? Not good times for United, languishing in 11th place. Not looking good for you guys at all. Done by Man City 3-0 the week before. A win against Burnley, not too bad actually, to be fair, and drawing against Fulham, and losing against Arsenal in the opening game of the season. So not a great run of results for Manchester United. Not the best time to be a United fan. What have we got out of the last 5 games? We've got 2 wins, 2 losses and a draw, culminating in a haul of only 7 points. Not miles away, only a win away at the moment actually from the top 3, top 4, let's say, if we look at Arsenal, Tottenham and Bournemouth. But I can't see all 3 of those losing the next game and Man United winning. Who knows, stranger things have happened at sea. But not looking good for United at the moment. What do you think, United fans? Is Mr. Amorim in with a shout of keeping his job? For the moment, I don't see that. I don't see anyone queuing up to take that job, to be honest. And in my own personal opinion, I would say that Man United are probably more guilty than any manager they've had in the last few seasons. We discussed them, I think it was the last episode of the podcast here. And when you look at the managers that they've had, I think each of them have only had 2 years. And when you consider Sir Alex Ferguson, I think it was in maybe the 3rd year, I remember. There was a big game they had against Nottingham Forest, and the rumour was that if they lost, he was going to get the sack. And I think this was in his 3rd season. And Jason Robbins, I recall. Is that his name? Mark Robbins? Jason Robbins? I had a friend at school with surname Robbins, so it's probably one of those 2. But he scored the winner, I believe, on the night, and that saved Sir Alex Ferguson's bacon. And then look what happened after that. Don't know how many fans are old enough to remember that, but I certainly do. And you would think Manchester United as a club are certainly old enough to remember that. Maybe Moyes should have got more time. Mourinho certainly would have earned more time. Van Gaal, I don't know. Even Ten Hag, you would say, maybe giving him another season or 2. Not good. And I'm not sure that Amorim is the answer. But at the end of the day, this is where this is who they've hung their hat on at the moment. So I think as a United fan, you can only get behind the poor guy, and hopefully he can turn things round. What do you think, United fans? Not much to sing about at the moment. Not much to sing about. And that brings us swiftly on to the last of this episode's topics, and that is going to be Arsenal. Currently 2nd in the league, as we know, Arsenal, 5 points behind Liverpool. They've won 3 of their last 5 games, 1 loss. And of course they drew with City at the weekend. Interesting. City and Arsenal, you would think to be the 2 main contenders. Neither of them convinced in that game, from what I saw, to be absolutely fair there. I think neither of them really convinced in that. Great goal from Martinelli to equalise. I have to say that was a very good goal. It's going to be difficult at this moment in time. I would say that Liverpool have a very good chance of retaining the crown, because the 2 main challengers you would expect, Arsenal, Man City, do not seem to be at the races at the moment. City have already lost 2 games, it remains to be seen what will happen with them. They're languishing in 9th place. But Arsenal, 2nd place at the moment, joint with Tottenham and Bournemouth. it wouldn't surprise me if Tottenham mounted a serious challenge this season. Palace, an outside chance, but I can't see that, to be honest. Chelsea, they're in sixth at the moment, could come up on the outside. But as things stand at the moment, Arsenal fans, I'm not convinced. What do you think? Let me know. It was an even game, very even game. Man City, the Man City of old anyway, the Man City of maybe 2 or 3 seasons ago, you would have expected to have finished this Arsenal team off, to be fair. But Arsenal, another big signing in Madueke, and he's been performing well actually. But Arsenal, they're always making these big signings and they're not quite getting there. You know, Declan Rice was a big signing for them. Also the German lad there is injured, isn't he? Havertz, easy, again, 60 mil they paid for him. This is not small change. You have to wonder what this season will mean if they don't bring home the Premier League. Will it be Arteta's swan song, or do you think you'll be given more time? Yes, interesting times at Arsenal, interesting times in the Premier League, full stop. I'm going to call it a day at that point, guys. Thank you very much for stopping by. Let me know what your thoughts are, whether you're a West Ham, Man United or Arsenal fan. Do let me know your thoughts, or even if you're from another team we've mentioned, Crystal Palace, what do you think of the situation at the moment? City fans, do you reckon? Do you think this could be your year? It's not looking likely at the moment. Let's see. It's all looking very interesting indeed. So thanks very much for stopping by. If you're still here at this point, greatly appreciated. Please do press the like button, subscribe, press the notification bell, and of course tell your friends and fam, and remember to leave a comment. Let me know what you think. So thanks again, guys. Look after yourselves and one another, and I will see you all in the next episode, hopefully a bit sooner next week. Until then, remember, off the top of the bar.